Their second round pick was a safety, another safety, Marcus Mays from Florida. So they picked two safeties in the first two rounds. And Marcus Mays, he's a solid player. He's 6 foot, 210 pounds. He versatility. He can play the strong and the free safety. He was a 3-year starter from Florida. He had a compelling 210 tackles, 5 interceptions, and 7 forced fumbles. But he suffered a broken hand last year and he missed 4 games. But a lot of people say he got good instincts and good speed. But he also allowed 10 touchdowns in his career. Tracking the ball isn't one of his strong fits. But I still think that was a solid pick because with Calvin Pryor, with the trade for Demario Davis, who goes back to the Jets that the Browns and the Jets made, I think that was a need they need. He can play both sides. He's very versatile. So that was a great pick by the New York Jets. Their third round pick was the Aries Stewart. He a wide receiver from Alabama. So I think this was a much needed pick because with the loss of Brandon Marshall, that really was lacking depth in the wide receiver core. Stewart, he's a speed burner. He ran a 4.4 and a 40. They compare him to a big and strong receiver as to Anquan Bolden. And plus, they happen to be one of his old favorite new offensive coordinator. The new offensive coordinator of the Jets is John Norton. But Stewart, he's 5'11", he's tough, and he's a competitor, man. He played in the run-oriented offense at Alabama. He had 54 catches for 864 yards and 8 touchdowns. 70% of his yardage came after the catch, so he's a speed burner. And with the Jets, had losing Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall and Jaylen Brown and Devin Smith, they much needed this wide receiver from Alabama. So they really is hurting in the receiving area, and this was a great pick. I think he give him a lot of speed, a lot of versatile, and he big and he's strong, and he can run after the catch, and that's important in the National Football League is yards after catch. That keeps you with a team and keeps you with a paycheck in the NFL. The fourth round pick was another wide receiver. Fourth round pick was Chad Henson out of California. Chad Henson, he's 6'2". He's 6'2", and he's coming off a huge season he came off a huge season with California. And he caught 92 passes for 1,249 yards, wow, and 11 touchdowns. He was an Idaho State transfer. He has very good speed. He's a 5'4". He's a 4.55 speed. That's good for his size. But he struggled with press covers. I think he need to put on some weight. And his route running is consistent and it's primarily vertical routes and bubble screens. So he's going to be more of a slot player. He's going to have to make a transition in the NFL, but he's going to be more of a slot player where they've got plays for him, trick plays, bubble screens. They're going to do the deep ball, put him in matchup nightmares with the safeties and a lot of linebackers. So I think that was another good pick by Todd Bowles. I think he trying to get this receiving core together. They lost a lot of good wide receivers, but they was old anyway, so you can't knock the Jets for it. So I think that was a great fit. I think they give him another speed burner and a player that can possibly play the special teams and give them a nice boost on the special teams. Their fifth round pick was a tight end out of Clemson, Jordan Leggy. and he's 6'6", 255. He's a big line. He's a big tight end, and he is Clemson all-time leader for tight ends and catches. He caught 112 receptions for 1,598 yards and 18 touchdowns. He delivered in the biggest game, including a seven catch 95-yard performance against Alabama in the national title. He's a smooth wide receiver, capable of going deep. He's a very good deep threat, but he's not a great blocker. He has a lot of passion for the game, and I think he'll fit well for the New York Jets. It's kind of what they needed. So I think he's gonna contribute immediately as a rookie. He's gonna come in there and give him another versatility down the threat as a wide receiver. He's a big tight end, so you can match him up. He's gonna have a lot of mismatches with a lot of cornerbacks that's not as big as him, or not a lot of safeties that's not big as him. So you can allow him one-on-one coverage with a lot of fades, and he's gonna go up there and get the ball and help Josh McCown and that offense. That was another solid pick. They had another fifth round pick. They had Dylan Dunhoots. He was an outside the box for West Georgia. He played defensive end and linebacker. He set a school record with 25 and a half sacks, including 13 last year. So he's a great player. He's a solid player. He's 6'3", 248 pounds. He can switch to outside linebacker in the Jets 3-4, but he's risky. But he's worth the shot for a fifth round pick, considering the need that the Jets needed at the edge rusher. As you can see, the Jets don't have a lot of good luck when it comes to edge rushers. Vernon Goshen out of Ohio State years ago was a draft bust. But I think he's going to contribute on special teams, and he's going to be a late rotational player, and he's going to make the team. He's going to be a solid player who's going to help them in a lot of little ways that you might not notice. Solid pick, again, by Todd Bowles. His sixth round pick was Eli McGuire, the running back from Louisiana Lafayette. He went over 1,000 yards in 3 straight years. He ran for 1,168 yards last year on 232 carries. He was a workhorse, 7 touchdowns. He's 5'10", 214 pounds. Finished his career with more than 4,000 yards. He had 29 receptions last year. And he's a short-handed, and he has the ability to go deep, so he's a versatile running back. He's a type of back, he might have to focus more on third down roles, so they're going to put him on more on third down roles, put him in the slot with some linebackers and some safeties, and he's very fast, and he's very capable of beating anybody on the field because he's so fast. And so, it's a solid pick for him. It gives them another threat off the bench when they need some third and shorts and they need some speed. McGuire will definitely give them that, but I don't see him being an everyday down back. I see him as a third down role and getting in there when they need him. I think it was an okay pick. Their 6th round pick was Jeremy Clark's cornerback from Michigan. He tore his ACL in the 4th game last year, ending his season. He's about 75% healthy. He actually could have went back to school. He had an extra year. He had 10 tackles, 2 breakups. But he's 6'3", 220 pounds with long arms. He got a 33 wing. He got a 33-inch arm inches. Ty Bowles likes he likes cornerbacks. He likes his cornerbacks. He can play press man cover skills, and he has good speed. He struggles with fluids, so he have to get his body together. So I think it was a solid pick. Another special team player. If somebody get hurt, he could probably come in. It's an okay pick. The 6th round pick again. They had another one. Derek Jones, cornerback, Mississippi, out of Ole Miss. He's 6'2", 189 pounds. He was a receiver until last year. In 2016, he played 9 games at the corner and started only 3. He was suspended 3 games for violating a team rule. He had serious hope. He had a 41-inch vertical jump. Wow. But he's going to be another special teams player with a lot of speed. So that wraps that up for the Jets draft picks. Now we're going to look at the New York Jets free agency. Overall, I think they draft picks was solid because Ty Bowles, he's a defensive head coach, and he went after the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball too. So I think that defense is going to improve, and it wasn't a bad defense last year. So I think that they is going to improve on defense, and I think they're getting better on, or they're going to struggle on offense with the loss of Brandon Marshall and Eric Deckers. So it's not going to be a great offensive team, but defensively that team is going to be led by their defense. So I think that they had a solid draft, and I think like I said, defensively they're going to be good. Offensively they're going to struggle. They're going to really, really struggle. So I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to take a break. Take about a minute break and come back to you, and we're going to talk more about the New York Jets. We're going to talk about their free agency signings. Come back in a minute from the CV Sports Talk Show. Welcome back to the CV Sports Talk Show. We're going to get back into the Jets free agency signing. The first free agency signing they signed was Browns quarterback, which I know closely the last 2 years, is Josh McCown. They signed a 1-year deal, $6 million. Josh McCown, he's a solid veteran player. He's injury prone, but he gives his all out there on the field. He's going to go out there each and every Sunday and give it all. I do think they're going to struggle with him at quarterback because he's so old and he have a lot of mileage on him, and I think Heckenberg might have to be ready in the middle of the season. But I think it was a solid pick for his leaderships, and he bring them some leadership in that locker room for the young players, and he's going to really take over that quarterback room and really boost the quarterback room confidence and let them know how pro is, because he's really a pro. So I think it was a solid pick. I don't think it was an upgrade from last year. Then they added Morris Claiborne, the cornerback from Dallas, he's a solid pick. He signed a 1-year deal.